Why do you keep postponing life? The feeling of being out of place and the fear of trivialities steal moments from you, and this can be stopped. I will show you a simple shift that will return control to you and allow you to act starting today. You wake up, and the day immediately feels filled with tasks that have never been your dreams. The usual scene. You're in the kitchen, coffee in hand, a list of responsibilities in your head, and the thought of "today is not the time" is as familiar as the morning sound of an alarm clock. This is not laziness or a weakness of character. It's a mechanism that narrows your focus to the nearest task and pushes out of sight everything that could give meaning. Here and now, you are facing that very boundary where the fear of settling for less seizes the possibility of taking a step that could change your life. Specifically, you know that little thing you've wanted to do for a long time, but keep postponing. It could be a project, a letter, a conversation, or just a walk where a new idea is born. Every time you choose not now, the world changes, precisely because your unique perspective remains unutilized. This is not dramatization. It's simple mathematics of influence. Your absence is an absence of a unique pattern in the fabric of the overall story. What will you gain if you stay with me further? A clear scheme on how to recognize the moment when fear narrows perception. 2 simple techniques to bring attention back to the present, and a specific 5-minute practice, after which you will feel the difference. I won't speak abstractly. There will be real examples and actions you can start implementing right now. Stay tuned. There will be a clear algorithm ahead, not just general words. This is a critical moment. The world has sped up, and with it, the flow of opportunities and distractions has accelerated. This means not only more tasks, but also more reasons to feel overwhelmed. When attention is scattered, the most important thing, your attitude towards the present moment, begins to determine which events you notice and which you ignore. If you do not consciously cultivate this attitude, your best intentions will dissolve into routine and the expectations of others. You are not alone in this. I have encountered people who do everything by the plan, yet feel as if they are living on autopilot. The morning routine, a to-do list at work, exhaustion in the evening, and a sense that the day has been wasted. Others, on the contrary, constantly change directions because they cannot find internal anchors, and by the end of the day, they are left with emptiness. And then there is a third group. You try to be everything for everyone and forget that you have a unique perspective. In each of these cases, the habit of treating the present as an interval between tasks devalues your actions and makes it difficult to integrate your life into a larger story. First observation: most people do not realize that the fear of small things manifests not as loud distress, but as a constant minor delay, 10 times not now. And as a result, the important event does not happen. Second observation: the physical signs of this state, tense shoulders, uneven breathing, a tendency to procrastinate after breaks, are easy to notice if you pay attention. These symptoms show that the problem lies not in ambitions, but in how you manage your attention and how you relate to each small opportunity. Video map. First, we will analyze what exactly narrows your field of vision and why fear makes things small and manageable. This is Block A. Then we will look at how specific situations amplify this effect. Block B. After that, we will discuss common mistakes that reinforce the narrowing. Block C. Next, a key shift: how awareness of your own significance expands perception and opens up spaces for action. Block D. And finally, We will consider what happens when you start dreaming with intention and provide a simple practice, Block E, and practical application. New thesis. Your significance is determined not by the scale of the task, but by the unique combination of feelings, experiences, and decisions that you bring to each moment. This means that even a small step taken by you right now carries weight and the ability to change the course of events. As you move forward, be prepared to see specific ways to reclaim the present for yourself, without grand promises, but with actual changes in the quality of life. When the fear of trivialities takes over, it is not an explosion of emotions. It is a constant foggy sensation that eats away at the edges of the day. You wake up with a slight lump in your throat, not because something significant has happened, but because 10 small, not now, already accumulate in your mind. The inner voice quietly repeats, "Let's wait. First, we need to sort things out. Now is not the time." It does not shout. It is systematic. It fragments attention, turning the big request of the heart into a quantity of manageable, safe tasks. The result is fatigue from endless decisions and a feeling that you are living in a box with a lock. The things are visible, but the door is closed. The physics of the state is specific. The muscles of the neck and shoulders react first. Breathing becomes intermittent, and the gaze instinctively falls on the nearest objects: bills, messages, to-do lists. Inside, a quiet anxiety, like an echo, because at its root are fears intertwined in 2 threads. The first, the fear of making a mistake, losing face, or making the wrong choice. The second, the fear of discovering that the desired will not meet expectations, and then the work you are attached to will seem empty. These 2 fears act like an invisible clamp, tightening attention. The inner dialogue in this situation is typical and directly points to the problem. For example, if I start now, I will lose control over other things. If I speak about this idea, it will be criticized. It's better to wait until it becomes perfect. These phrases are not just thoughts. They are scenarios that you have learned over time and accepted as the truth. A mini situation. You want to write a text, but instead of opening the document, you start sorting through the mail. The mail wins because it is safe. It has clear steps, small victories, and instant anxiety reduction. This reliable activity illustrates that you are not being idle. You are just serving the system, avoiding the task that carries the risk of significance. The unique element of this chapter is the metaphor of a box with a lock. Inside it, colors and shapes are visible. Snippets of melodies can be heard. But it cannot be opened because you hold the key in your hand. You just fear to turn it. It is important to note, the key is not a mystical thing. It is the specific ability to start, a small action that you know how to do, but postpone. Realizing this feeling is the first step, to name how exactly fear manifests in you and where it lives in the body. This allows you to stop fighting the abstract fear and start observing the specific signals and habits that nurture it. The reasons fear compresses the field of perception lie at the intersection of biology, habit, and social practice. First, biology. The brain saves resources and automatically sorts the world by urgency. If a situation seems manageable and safe, it prioritizes short tasks because they are faster and more predictable. As a result, larger and uncertain goals receive less neural budget. The second level, habit. When you repeatedly choose safety, neural pathways strengthen, and the system begins to prefer known imperfection over the risk of a new outcome. The third level, Social context. Family, work, environment regularly send signals that immediate results and visible productivity are valued. Often this is not malice, it is a convenient check for managing expectations. But together, these three levels form what I call the triangle of attention: the past, the expectation of the future, and external demands. The past brings lessons and traumas. Expectation, the fear of future failures. External demands dictate what is considered important. When the triangle compresses, your field of attention becomes narrow. A practical example: you work in a company where quick reporting is valued. Every quarter, rewards go to those who close more tasks. Over time, your brain learns to look for tasks with quick results, while projects requiring risky initiative simply go unnoticed. This forms the habit of small deeds. You are busy, but not with what matters. There is another hidden factor: the fear of controlling one's own significance. The larger the major project looms over you, the stronger the inner voice wants to safeguard itself, not because the project is bad, but because success or failure in it can change others' attitudes towards you. This psychological risk is a deal with oneself to maintain current identity, even if it is narrow and unsatisfactory. The unique model of this chapter, the triangle of attention, helps to see which angles support the narrowing. If you try to change at least one vertex, for example, reconsider external success criteria, or work on the image of the future, the triangle will straighten and the field of perception will begin to expand. Conscious intervention at each of the three levels gives a chance to return attention to yourself, rather than surrendering it to automatic mechanisms of economy and safety. The most common mistake is not the feeling of fear itself, but the way you respond to it. Instead of using anxiety as a signal, many people become trapped in it. They start making repetitive excuses, engaging in extensive planning without execution, and constantly checking their readiness. This cycle unconsciously reinforces the belief that you are not ready, creating a closed loop. The more you plan, the more it seems that additional steps are needed, pushing the real start further away. A typical mini-situation illustrates the mistake. Imagine a person who has long dreamed of giving a paid lecture somewhere. Instead of recording a short video and offering it to acquaintances, he creates an endless plan. Buy a camera, take a presentation course, develop the perfect structure, wait for the best conditions. As a result, there are many ideas, but no action. Meanwhile, he feels a sense of control. He has a noticeable preparation mechanism, rather than the frightening emptiness of starting. This deceptive sense of security is a replacement of meaning with busyness. Another mistake is seeking external validation as a condition for starting. The opinions of a boss, the support of a friend, a mark on social media become filters through which your energy flows. External validation replaces internal guidance. It's like handing over the key to the locked box from your own hand to someone else's. You wait for someone else to say, "You can." It does not work. No one knows your unique perspective as well as you do. The unique emphasis of this chapter is the phenomenon of collecting excuses. An excuse is not a one-time spoonful of sugar. It is a habit, a system of excuses where each new reason for delay is presented as a rational solution. To break this system, one must learn to notice its signals. You spend time preparing conditions that look like care for the outcome, but actually serve fear. Recognizing this mistake is a key turning point. When you see how and why an excuse is created, You can start testing it for strength and substituting real actions for yet another reason not to start. The shift in perception begins not with external victories, but with a rearrangement of the internal coordinate. The realization that you are an important and irreplaceable part of the world's pattern. This is not about egocentrism. It is about understanding that your point of view is unique and contributes a micro-portion to the overall picture at every moment. When you stop measuring your significance by the scale of immediate effect, the way you allocate attention and energy changes. The new perspective shifts the focus from the result to authorship. It is not only about what you will achieve, but also about what unique solution you bring, even if it is barely noticeable. Imagine a factory of invisible stitches. You do not immediately see each stitch, but it is these stitches that hold the fabric of history together. Every step you take is such a stitch. It may not become viral, but it changes the structure, making the next step possible for others and for you. The practical consequence of the new perspective: your actions stop being tasks for the sake of results. They become expressions of authorship. This changes your motives. Instead of waiting for ideal conditions, you start to wonder, what is my contribution in this situation? What can I add to make the pattern more resilient? This frees you from the need for constant external validation and reduces the fear of evaluation, because the meaning is already within your act. The unique model in this chapter is the rule of micro-authorship. 3 criteria by which you evaluate an action. First, originality. Is there at least a small spark of your personality in this action? Second, consistency. Can this step be repeated often enough to become part of your line? Third, resourcefulness. Does the action not take too much energy for you to continue? This model helps choose not the biggest and most visible tasks, but those where you are the author and where your contribution is sustainable. The transition from fear to authorship does not happen instantly, but it is sustainable. Even if external results appear slowly, you begin to feel meaning in each step. This changes your morning ritual because now you ask not, what will bring visible success? But, with what stitch will I strengthen the fabric of my story today? The answer to this question is the key to expanding your attention and restoring what was once lost from sight. When you allow yourself to dream, not as an escape from reality, but as a way to see where your micro-contribution can change the course, real changes begin. The first thing you notice is a change in the tone of attention. It becomes focused rather than scattered. A dream ceases to be an empty fantasy and transitions into a format of trial actions, small experiments that you initiate to check how your stitch feels in the fabric of the world. The steps that follow such a dream differ from the usual expectation of ideal conditions. They are compact and repeatable. Example: a person dreams of creating an interest meeting in their neighborhood. They do not wait for the perfect audience or budget. The first action is to send 3 messages to neighbors. The second is to suggest a topic and time. The third is to come and conduct the meeting for 20 minutes. These simple steps do not guarantee global success, but they change your status. You move from being a listener to being a creator. And this creates other consequences. A unique example in this chapter is the story of a woman teacher who, tired of feeling unnoticed, began singing in the stairwell in the evenings. At first, it seemed absurd and insignificant, but after a month, neighbors began to come out and sing along. 6 months later, a group formed that held a local music festival, a result that no one had planned in advance. What mattered? A small, daring step taken with a sense of authorship. Further changes are cognitive and social. Cognitively, you become less vulnerable to excuses and more resilient to failures because the value lies in the act itself, not only in recognition. Socially, your actions begin to attract people who resonate with your spark. Importantly, the effect is rarely instantaneous and often goes unnoticed at the level of the first week. But if you consistently repeat small acts, they accumulate into a new pattern. And then one day, you will look back and see that your life has entered a broader story. The result of this process is not a promise of instant glory, but a different quality of presence. You cease to be merely a witness. You become a participant whose contribution, while small in scale, turns out to be significant for those around. This is the very invisible significance that depends on much more than you think. In short and straightforward terms, there are no metaphors here, only specifics that you can start applying today. 4 simple steps that form the habit of acting from a place of authorship and safely expand your field of attention. Step 1. A 5-minute micro-habit. In the morning or at any convenient time, allocate exactly 5 minutes to that one task you usually postpone. Don't plan the result, only the action. Open a file, write 3 sentences, call one person, sketch an outline. Do this every day at the same time. 5 minutes is short enough to overcome the initial block and long enough to start the process. Make a note in your calendar. If you check it off, it means the task has begun. Step 2. A question that disables excuses. Every time "not now" threatens to take over, ask yourself a simple question. If not now, when? Add a clarification. What will I lose tomorrow if I don't do this today? Answer honestly and immediately act within the framework of the 5-minute micro-habit. This question cuts through a long chain of excuses and brings attention back to the real risk, not to the ideal, but to the loss of opportunity. Step 3. Action of the day. Every day, take one noticeable small action that makes your contribution visible to others or to yourself. This could be a brief message with an idea, posting a short note, inviting an acquaintance to meet, or making a test call. It's important that the action is specific and leaves a small external trace, a mark, a record, a sent email. A visible action reduces the fear of judgment because it transforms an internal idea into a real step. Step 4. Accountability and progress. Track your progress simply, with a paper calendar or an app. Check off each day when you completed the micro-habit and one action of the day. Once every 7 days, analyze what worked, what hindered, what single element can be changed. Mark a small victory, the number of check marks, the first responses from people, the feeling of relief. This is an objective indicator that allows you to see change faster than the internal feeling of nothing is changing. How to avoid falling off and giving up. Establish the 3 misses rule in advance. 2 consecutive misses are a signal to reconsider the conditions. 3 consecutive misses are a reason to reduce the load. Return to 3 minutes and eliminate the additional requirement for visibility. Plans for ideal conditions are a trap. Change the environment instead of waiting. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Clear your desk. Tell one person about your intention. External acknowledgement increases the likelihood of maintaining the habit. This practice offers resilience, not through motivational bursts, but through repetition and simple attribution of success. You track the process, not just the result. If after a month you see a series of check marks in your calendar and at least a few visible steps outward, This is an indicator of real change. Continue and gradually increase the duration of the micro-habit when it stops being a struggle. The key thoughts of the entire video in 2 points. First, your significance is not defined by the external scale of achievements, but by the unique combination of your perspective, actions, and perseverance. A small step taken by you adds a knot to the overall fabric, even if no one notices it immediately. Second, the fear of small things is not a sentence. It is a mechanism that can be observed and operated. By changing your attitude towards the present and shifting your focus from results to authorship, you change the rules of the game. Remember, authorship is not about loud victories. It is about the choice to do what you are capable of, regularly and consciously. When you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start practicing small acts, you create a viable line of change. This frees you from constant planning and shifts energy into action. In this process, it is not the desire for immediate recognition that is important, but the ability to see the significance of your steps over time. Consolidating meaning. Take responsibility for one small habit, observe it for a week, and draw conclusions based on fact, not expectations. This method teaches you to trust yourself, not the promise of a great victory, but the real fact. You started and you continue. It is this consistency that transforms could have been into was done, and changes your perception of your role in the world. Final thought. You are important because your contribution is unique and irreversible. Do not wait for the world to give you permission. Start weaving your stitches into the fabric of history now. If this video was helpful to you, subscribe so you won't miss the next day.